For me personally, I think it's this season. I think it's LeBron.
Once again, we have the debate of who is the MVP. That debate that the NBA fans love to speculate, and that we all have our arguments for choosing one player over the others. This season is going to go down in history for many reasons, but let's try to answer this difficult question. Who the hell is the MVP? These are 5 candidates to win the award of the coronavirus season. On one hand, we have the Greak Freak. His team is the league leader in victories. He has played an amazing season, and he has also achieved amazing numbers in just 30 minutes per game. Anthony Davis is another candidate. His offensive and defensive versatility, as well as the important role that he plays in the Lakers, make him an undeniable contender. In addition, the Lakers are leaders of the Western Conference and the second best team in the league in victories. Without moving from the Western Conference, we have James Harden on fire. Averaging almost 35 points per game and one of the league's best teams, he's unquestionably more than qualified to win the award. In fact, year after year, Harden is at least amongst the 3 favorites to take the trophy home. After having a very flammable rookie year, his second season, Luka has been better than the first, averaging almost triple-double numbers, putting his team in the playoffs, and literally revolutionizing the world with his game. Prodigy deserved to be in this top 5. Last but not least, the King, leader of the Los Angeles Lakers. 35 years young and he's still going, leading the league in assists with numbers of almost triple-double. These 5 players have been the most outstanding during these 60 and a few games that have been played during the 2019-2020 season, but only one will take the trophy home. Despite playing an outstanding season, in my opinion, I do not see the way in which Anthony Davis takes it before his partner LeBron. In addition, if we look at the number of players of the month that have been awarded throughout the year, we see that AD has not obtained any, so that would distract him from my top 3. The other player I would like to rule out to enter the podium would be Luka. We all know that the kid is a machine. In fact, he has managed to lead the Mavericks and qualify them for the playoffs in just his second year, averaging almost triple-double numbers with 30 points. Not to mention that even though he is not the best of defenders, he makes up for it in the offense. Fortunately for him, the NBA is paying less and less attention to that part of the game, and he's made the most out of it, becoming a superstar in the best league in the world. I don't think this year is his turn yet. It is very clear to me that someday he will win it, but we will have to wait a little bit for that. Also, I can't put him in the top 3 when Harden is breaking records game after game. I mean, he's averaged almost 35 points per game, but there were points of the season that he was around 40. An example would be what he did on November the 30th. Playing just 30 minutes, he scored 60 points with a true shooting percentage of 88%. That night does not end here, because it was marked one of the best games statistically speaking in history, in just 30 minutes. For this, I rely on the game score statistic, which measures all the statistical factors that can be measured in a match and converts them into a number. Well, this is a list of the best games in history according to the game score. We see Jordan's game with 69 points, Kobe's 81, Booker's 70. They are all the legendary games, except Will's 100, that statistics were not a big thing back then. Harden's game of just 30 minutes earns a place in the top 10. The best thing is that if Harden had played his season average of 36.7 minutes and he kept up the pace at which he was playing, his score would have been 62.5, becoming the 3rd best game in history, doing it in less minutes than the remaining 10. When Michael scored 69, he played 50 minutes. I'm assuming everyone remembers that game went into overtime, right? If for some strange reason in life Harden had played 50 minutes, his score would have been 84.1. So superior to any other game by any other player in the basketball history. The only reason I'm going to dismiss James Harden right now is because his team has gotten worse than last year. At this point, the Rockets were in 2nd place in the West. And this year, the Thunder, the team that they moved their previous second best player and traded him for MVP, who also had a slim chance of making the playoffs, today they are one position above them. I'm sorry that despite having a historic season, people are going to underestimate his almost 35 points on average. Now, why would you say that people believe that LeBron James should win the award? LeBron is 35 and soon to be 36. He's in his 17th season and still has shown, at least during the regular season, that he still is the best player in the world. This is my opinion only. In addition to leading the league in assists per game, his team is second best in wins, and he is in the Western Conference. We all know that being in the West is a huge deal, for multiple reasons. First, because out of the 25 best players in the league, according to NBC Sports, 16 are in the Western Conference, and of the top 10, 7. That has a huge impact as teams from the same conference face each other more often. So we can say that, first, the Western Conference is more talented than the Eastern Conference, and the second, that the Lakers' game schedule is more complex. Of the 63 games the Lakers have played, 40 have been against teams from the West and 20 have been against those who have currently entered the top 10 of most accumulating wins in the league. The Bucks, however, have faced 26 out of the 65 matches that have played a Western Conference team and 17 against the top 10 team. Another thing that makes people choose LeBron over Giannis is that his team is more dependent on his talent. For many, the MVP should be the player whose absence is most noticeable in the team. When the Lakers play without LeBron, they average a net rating of nearly 2 points. In other words, they score 2 more points than what they allow. When LeBron is on the court, his average goes up to plus 10 points. On the other hand, the Bucks without Giannis average a 5.7 points positive, but many people do not pay attention that when the Greek is on the court, the average goes up to an impressive plus 15. So, there are 4 undeniable arguments that make Giannis Antetokounmpo the MVP. First, he has led his team to the number 1 in the league wins and has done so averaging better numbers than his direct rival, LeBron, in nearly 5 less minutes per game. Second, he has been nominated 3 times Player of the Month versus twice of the King. LeBron has another of the top 5 candidates in his team, so basically he has more help. And fourth, and let me elaborate on this, Giannis has made history. You see, for at least 3 months of the season, Giannis Antetokounmpo has not only led his team in the first position playing just 30 minutes per game, but he has also redefined the word efficiency in basketball. This is a list of the seasons with the best efficiency ratios in the history of the league. From this list, in the same season, these players were recognized as MVPs. Well, for a few months, the Greek was averaging an absurd almost 34 points PER, the highest in history. Of course, these numbers are very complex to maintain, especially when you're playing 3 out of the 4 quarters that the game has. And not even that, basically. Regardless, before the season was stopped, Giannis' average efficiency was 31.6, making it the 4th best season ever. It is a shame, because the pandemic has slowed down one of the seasons that promised to go down as one of the best in history. For many, if the Lakers had been able to continue, they would have been the league leaders in wins. Everything indicated that they were going to basically destroy other teams. Coming from a weekend that they beat the Clippers and the Bucks thanks to 2 masterpieces of LeBron, people were very confident that one, they would have led the league in wins, part because Giannis was injured and the other part because basically LeBron was playing unbelievable. And it's almost a guarantee that LeBron would have won Player of the Month. And I'm sure if that would have happened, the narrative would have changed a lot. But it seems that the regular season has come to an end. And also, in my opinion, the historical magnitude of the season of Giannis is such that for me, he deserves the trophy. Who knows what would have happened with the 15 games left to play. But today, Giannis deserves to be MVP. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments what you think. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.